Hello, everyone. I received such a clear message after my walk tonight. And when I walk, I'm telling you, it is on a whole other stratosphere. My pineal gland gets supercharged, and then it acts as like a magnet, and I'm able to receive all this cosmic information. So my pineal gland draws to myself all this information. And one word that kept being highlighted, and this is why I had to jump on tonight and share this with you guys, because I was not looking for this. It was not on my radar. I was actually just having a burrito, a vegan burrito after my walk, and then the words, because I was still very active, the word kept hitting me. It was two words, but it was the one word, and then I'll give you two interpretations. It was intermission. And what I heard is that this is intermission time, not unlike when you go to a play or when you go to a venue and then they say it's intermission, everyone go grab some refreshments and go grab some snacks and we'll be back shortly. Let me plug I need to plug, I'm sorry. Okay, there it is. I need to plug, my laptop is gonna go out. I just got home and I knew I had to come on and share this message. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Without further ado, back to your show. So this is intermission time. And then I started stewing over that. I'm like, but that makes no sense. That's completely illogical because we're in the thick of it right now, with the masks and COVID and quarantine and lockdown. Like, this is the heat of it. And then the message I heard after that was, no. You're in for a big, big, big surprise, my friends. So this information was definitely coming from the upper dimensions because, again, when I meditate, my Kundalini is very active. I leave this plane of existence altogether. I'm completely unattached. And like I said, I wasn't looking for this. It just happened. Intermission. But wait, that makes no sense because we're in the thick of it right now. The chaos is already here. And then they said, no. Shift is about to hit the fan. So instead of using the word shit, they use shift is about to hit the fan. So what I gathered from that is there's a huge shift underway, both globally and personally. Because remember, everything that we're undergoing externally is first and foremost for us, for our own evolution, because on this plane of existence, there will always be people who are more elevated than others. It's just how it works. That's how the game was designed. So that's why people like Martin Luther were able to change the fabric of this reality, because in my opinion, he was like a time traveler. And different people are time travelers, which is just another way of saying that they vibrate at a higher frequency, so they occupy a higher dimensional domain of frequency, and then they're able to see life from the future, almost, based on this higher plane, and the higher you go, the more access you have. So I thought that was really interesting. This is a pause, believe it or not. I was like, what? Because here I am, like, I can't wait to get back into the world and like go travel and do all kinds of things. Now, I did get from that we are going to be able to travel soon because there's going to be the calm before the storm. And so even though right now we're perceivably in the storm, in the midst of it all, there's more to come, but we're going to have a tiny bit of a break. And this is part of the break, believe it or not. So then it got broken down into two. It was intermission. And just to clarify, this is a message for the Starseeds, for the way showers, for those who are blazing trails, for those who are making the maps, for those who are, I want to say, leading this ascension journey. So if you're someone who's quick to polarize, this message is definitely going to press some buttons. So get ready. Let this be like a little disclaimer. But I would suggest that you stick around. So intermission would be internal mission. As starseeds and wayshowers and guardians of New Earth, our internal mission has a direct impact on everything that we experience globally. Sometimes we don't get to experience the change. We don't get to experience the changes. I think I just saw Norb. We don't get to experience the changes right away because we're working within the unformed realms, or within the unmaterialized realms, or within the unmanifest realms, and those can take a while to spiral through time and space to eventually get spit out into this reality in physical form. So we're working with the non-physical antimatter world within the higher dimensional landscapes, and then things naturally kind of cascade in this reality, or you could say that they take a while to materialize because other people have to go through their awakenings as well, and the universe doesn't single anyone out. Everyone is included, and so the universe gives us wiggle room to acclimate to those higher frequencies. So it takes a while, and it can be a lengthy process. As you know, this ascension, so many of you are like twiddling your thumbs like, come on guys, this is so boring, can we just get on with it? And then the majority of humanity is very, very quick to get triggered still. So because we are all part of the soup of God, of the oneness soup, then no ingredients are going to get left behind. And there's a bit of a lag, but you have to trust. And I was talking to Lori about this, Lori Ladd. I'm so proud of her, by the way. We got really close during the quarantine. I love you, Lori. And we talked about her video just last night, so it kind of encouraged me to do this tonight. But Lori and I were talking about this, where like we have to trust deep down that we decided to come here at this time. We signed up for this because we knew things would be lagging a little bit, but it would give us the necessary time to polish ourselves and to fine-tune ourselves. And Lori and I have talked about this before, like we repeat ourselves a lot, but it's okay because it's part of educating souls that come online. And so what we get to do is amuse ourselves by constantly finding new perspectives, new parables, new analogies, and so forth and so forth. So it's a refinement process. Internal mission is all about dealing with the Akashic imprints that arise within your field that you then transmute. I moved, as you guys know, not too long ago to an area that is rather prestigious. There are huge mansions around here. I'm not in a house. I'm in an apartment. The apartment buildings are really nice. It's a very nice area. And when people ask me where I live, and this is going to make sense down the road in this video, okay? So just stick with me. When people ask me where I live, I'm always reluctant to tell them because the two words of the sector I'm in, it's a little pretentious. And I'm the most unpretentious guy you'll know. I'm a Virgo, earth sign. Give me a good cup of coffee. I'm good. I don't care if it's Folgers. I don't require much in life, okay? I'm very like low maintenance. But so I'm always reluctant to say the city or the sector because words and people and regions and crystals, anything in life holds energy based upon the people who have been aligned to that city, or based upon how people perceive that city or that person. Everything is frequency. Everything we're dealing with in this reality is based upon frequency. So usually what I do is I take a nice deep breath because I can pick up all the imprints, the Akashic imprints that hinge around that city. And I'll tell you what the name is. It's Hancock Park. I live in Hancock Park. When I say it, I can scan the matrix. Every word, every person, every sentence has a matrix attached to it. So there's a matrix around the words Hancock Park that's like, I'm higher and loftier than you, right? I'm better than you. Like it has a very, keep in mind, Hancock Park is kind of like a Beverly Hills. The houses are even bigger than Beverly Hills. So there's a certain energy attached to it that isn't necessarily to my liking, but I'm really happy to live here because I've always loved this area. So I'll either say Hancock Park, and as I'm speaking, I'll shift the energy around it. Now, you can't really shift the energy fully, what you could do is layer it. You could put a scarf on it, a hat on it, right? So that other people can access those different recipes that you deposit within that. It's not unlike if a woman who is struggling with bulimia, if she's able to heal from that, it means that she was able to psychically attune her mind to the people who had bulimia, and then she was able to upload into her mind or to download into her mind the recipes or the trails to lead to that healing. And if she didn't have the willingness to heal, then she would probably link herself to the other people who have bulimia who refuse at all costs to heal. I hope that makes sense. So everything we deal with in this reality gets stacked like harmonies in the studio. When you do a chorus or a hook for a song, you stack them with harmonies, and everything becomes multidimensional. Everything becomes multifaceted, and through our free will, we get to decide which one we align with. But as starseeds and grid workers, we are responsible a lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time, to be the ones who transmute that energy, to alchemize that energy. So when I say it, the other thing that's really cool is you can usually click into that space and see if other people think that way. And I don't get the sense that a lot of people have done that alchemical work around Hancock Park. So I tend to go in and I shift the energy, or I'll say Larchmont because it's literally like one street over from Larchmont, and Larchmont doesn't have that pretentious vibe to it, so I'll say that instead. It just depends on which mood I'm in. If I'm in the mood to alchemize energies, I will go ahead and say it and kind of work with the energy to, in a way, allow Hancock Park to redeem itself. Because what I've been shown about reality is that God never wanted to be defined, because God is undefinable. Source is undefinable. You are undefinable. So if someone tries to slap a label on you, it's not going to feel good to you. If someone tries to place a definition on you or try to put you in a box, it's not going to feel good to you. Do you have control over that? No. But what we're moving towards as a society, as a humanity, as a civilization, is stepping out of all boxes and saying it's all good. Which leads me to my next point. So I've made the point of like, there's words, they hold energy. Names hold energy. Celebrities hold energy. But it's not always their energy. A lot of the times is because their energy is like a vortex that's been created by their followers. Like if you have Kim Kardashian or Cardi B or Trump, and we'll get into Trump in a second, whoever it is, there's so much energy coming at them all the time that you can see it's like throwing dark smoke on their name. Why do people do this? Why do we do this as a humanity? We do this because we're so miserable in our own lives that we feel like somehow entitled to blame, judge, label, or put people in a box. We do. It's like we're entitled. We think we're better than other people. And really, it's just an unconscious pattern that we're still running through our operating system, through the third dimensional operating system, because the fifth dimensional operating system is not one of judgment. Only humans judge. So whenever you hear me say humans, I'm talking about 3D. It's just my thing. It's not that I judge humans. It's just I talk about humans. They're humans. Humans or muggles or earth dwellers, they like to judge other people. Another example, everything that's occurred with Ellen DeGeneres lately. Overnight, everyone turned on her. Okay, and I understand that. There's been a lot of scuttlebutt over the years that she treats her employees like dirt, and I totally get that. But I would never get on the bandwagon of that, because I've been in positions where people bully me, and it's a horrible feeling. Did I have control over it? No. So did it serve me in some respect? Yes, because I had to learn how to unattach myself from people's opinions. This is way before I started doing Instagram. I got bullied when I was young, or in my 20s, because I had been diagnosed bipolar, and I was staying with a man who became like my family. someone very special to my heart, and his friends were picking on me, saying that I'm a hustler and I'm just trying to stay with him for free. No, I was just sick, and he came into my life to help me. So he let me stay with him for like a myriad of years so that I can get well again. But I got bullied by his friends, and they would call me a hustler or someone who was taking advantage of him, and that felt really bad. I almost got beat up at the gym one time by his friends. So anytime we get bullied in life, it doesn't feel good. And we have to start transcending all condemnation, persecution, all of these different templates that keep us rooted in duality. We have to start moving beyond them and past them. So Ellen DeGeneres, another perfect example. Like, think of all the years where she brought joy to people in their living room. I don't watch her. I never did. I had people in my family who watched her, who really liked her. So for people to turn on her that quickly isn't fair. And the God, the source that I know, is very forgiving. And humans, for some reason, just they don't catch the drift. They don't understand that this reality is all about being reflected by the external hologram so that we can look at our own judgments and then clear them. The whole purpose of this reality is to have you reflected back by your hologram or aspects of you, because who you are inherently is a divine being. You're not a judgmental person. You're not someone who's negative. You're inherently positive. You're inherently an amazing, magnificent individual. You're a light being. You're an angelic being who dropped into human form, who forgot who you were, and then so you got heavily conditioned and heavily programmed, and then you started separating off from that soup of oneness and then judging others or castigating others as being bad or putting them, pegging them as the bad guy and doing all these things. That's not who we are. And that has to stop immediately. It has to stop. Think of Christ. Christ, whew, talk about all the stones that were cast on him. How are we different? Just because we're not using stones anymore? It can hurt as much. Believe me, I can tell you as someone who used to be an extreme empath, it could hurt as much when someone takes a psychic hammer and they hit you on the head or they scratch you in the face. That's happened to me so many times in my life where I said something, I spoke my truth, and I could feel claws come out and scratch my face energetically. And I would cry because I could feel the pain. The pain. And you actually reenact, you actually re-experience what you probably dealt with in another life. Meaning in another life, I probably did have someone hit me with a hammer on my head or stab me in my chest. So a lot of what we feel energetically in this life, okay, is a product of other lives. And I guess you could say it alleviates as we evolve, but we want to start quantum leaping into like, no, enough of this stuff. It's still energy and it's still very harmful. So Christ, another perfect example. Okay, who are we to judge other people? So Trump is another example. When you say the word Trump, there's so much anger. There's so much anger. I even have my reservations to say the word because people get so freaking nasty when you say Trump. They get so nasty. Now, bear in mind, I am not politically oriented at all. So this is not about politics. This is about frequency. We live in a vibrationally based plane of existence, and everything is about frequency. So most of what you attract physically, what you're a vibrational match to, you're not a vibrational match to it without reason or without rhyme. You're a vibrational match to it because there's something that you're still holding within your energetic system that has yet to be resolved or dissolved. So if the word Trump makes you super agitated, right? It's agitating your demons. That's exactly what it's doing. It's agitating your demons. It's agitating imprints within you. Going back to Hancock Park, there are imprints probably from pretentious people or who lived in this neighborhood and were like, I'm better than you because I live in Hancock Park. So these are imprints. Think of them as beliefs that you have that get imbued in a word, imbued in a city. That's why different cities hold different energies, because they get imbued with all these different mentalities and all these different perceptions and all these different opinions. Okay, so you look at someone like Trump, that word in and of itself, that word, that name, has so much dirt on it. Okay? Does that mean that it's his dirt? No. It means that people are so miserable in their own lives, whether it be their marriages, all right, they're discontent, they're not getting laid, right? They're constantly nagging their husband or their wife. It could be that they're sick of being at the same old job, and now they're like, ooh, everyone hates Trump. Let me get on that bandwagon. And now I can just inoculate, which is my version of ejaculate, but you're getting rid of your energy. You're projecting all of that negative energy onto someone else, which isn't fair to people. It's not fair to people to do that. It's not fair. Jesus was pure light. We are all light, all of us. But then it gets covered up with so much mud and so much tar because humans are so mean. The words coming in right now, it's like, it's a bully nation. We love to bully each other. We love Ellen. Overnight, we hate her. There's no wiggle room. There's no chance for redemption. You know, we're very quick to like cut people out. You're done. Out. Strike one, you're out. That's not the forgiving source, the forgiving creator, the forgiving God that I know. And God lives within all of us. We are all aspects of God. We are all aspects of source. Okay? And it's not appropriate to constantly throw shade on people. It's not fair. You have to start envisioning that you're in their position. How would that feel to you? How would that feel to you? So just remember, a name is a vortex. When people think of you, they get flooded with all these different imprints. How does that make you feel to know that that may not be you? It may be how someone else perceives you and how other people perceive you. And as soon as your name is told, or as soon as your name is shared, then they receive imprints that may have nothing to do with who you inherently are. It's not fair. It's not love. So we have to stop throwing this dark smoke on people. We have to stop dunking people in a black glaze, almost like a petroleum-like glaze, because we think that we're entitled and our opinion matters. You know what I've learned about this karmic universe? If you want to be treated well in life, treat other people the same way. You have to. There's like a saying that goes like, do unto others as you want done unto you. I don't read. You guys are probably laughing. Do unto others as you want. I don't read at all. Okay, I'm not an avid reader. But anyways, there's a Bible verse, I think, that says something like that. But it's true, because the frequency that you pulse out is always going to boomerang back, and sometimes it's going to hit you in the face to get you to wake up. So you have to be mindful of where you're directing your energy. All right? Because if you don't like something and you do it to someone else, it's going to keep happening to you. It's a vicious cycle. It's a rinse and repeat cycle. And it's not fair to you, right? Because really what you're doing is revealing that you're weak, meaning that you haven't mastered your mind and you're not able to take an objective, neutral standpoint, and that you're easily rattled, and that you're also a follower. Because think of all the people who hate Trump. So it's very easy to get on that bandwagon. It's kind of like when you see raccoons and a family of raccoons, they all gather. Raccoons are so cute though, but I'm thinking of an example. It takes one person to be super upset, and that upset or that anger or that agitation is going to trigger everyone else's agitation. It creates like a domino effect, and then everyone's like, ooh, let's rally up and all cast stones on Trump. And we have to stop this at once. Okay, think of like when the Kardashians or Paris Hilton, they had their sex tapes leaked. That's still your brother and sister. Okay? And we're so good at making everything justifiable. Like, no, but that's nasty. But do you understand that that had to happen for you to look at your own judgment? For you to address what it is that you still harbor within yourself? That you're projecting onto them because you still have it housed within your own energy field? That's how it works. It's a simulation. It's a hologram that we're in. The best way that you can beat this video game is by seeing it and identifying it as an interactive video game. Interactive video game. And different people are going to catalyze different things in you. Trump might remind you of someone who used to trigger you and now you hate him. Or maybe you already hated yourself, or you hate your husband, or you hate your wife, and you're looking for any reason to take it out on someone other than you. That is not okay. We have to stop this, you guys. We have to stop this. So this is an intermission. And our internal mission is to rectify these energies. Our internal mission is to make course corrections as it relates to energy. And so just like Lori, I love you, Lori, inspired me to do this video because she was willing to speak up and be a guardian for Trump. I would be a guardian for anyone. I would go to bat for anyone because the underlying issue here is that we still all cast stones. We all still dunk each other in that petroleum-like energy. It's not okay. So I would stand up for anyone. Even if I don't like you, even if we don't get along, if I'm having a coffee with someone and they say something negative about you, I will stand up for you. I've always been like that. I consider myself to be a guardian of the galaxy because I refuse to let other people get away with behaviors like that. Because if they're getting away with that, it means everyone else is condoning that behavior. Everyone else. I don't condone that behavior. I don't let it slide. I do not. Because guess what? If they do it to Trump, they can do it to you. If they do it to Ellen, they can do it to you. If they do it to Kardashian, they can do it to you. So you have to understand that the dark energies on this planet, they're going to become more and more and more and more visible because they're fighting tooth and nail to remain relevant on our world. Tooth and nail. So we have to step up to the plate. We have to step into the shoes of empowering each other and saying, even though I may not be super fond of you, I'll still protect your ass because I love you. Because we're all one. And if you suffer, it's going to destabilize the entire grid. So we're all in this together. And we're all going home together. All of us. Why do you think Jesus came back? Why do you think Buddha came back? Why do you think Martin Luther King came back? Why do you think I came back? I consider myself to be a time traveler. Because it means nothing to be enlightened. So I'm not saying I'm enlightened. I'm saying it means nothing to be enlightened if you're in it alone. Because enlightened can only happen if there's other people around you. If you're the only person in this entire universe, you wouldn't even need the word enlightened. So my point is, we come back to this plane of existence because we're here to help the collective. It's like we're roping them along. Come on, guys. Come on, you're an aspect of me. I'm not leaving you behind. We're in this together. Come on, come on, come on. We're all divine. No one is above anyone else. There's no hierarchy. We're all in this together. So this is why we're here. And I feel like that ties in well with what Lori and I talked about, which is that we have to keep repeating these things because everyone else is an aspect of who we are. So we're here to educate. We're here to help people absorb and assimilate these teachings. And most of you are teachers. Most of you are starseeds. Most of you are wayshores. It doesn't matter which label or title you slap on it. It doesn't matter. You can say you're a student, but if you're sharing your messages, you're still a teacher. You could say you're a teacher, but really you're a student. It's all the same thing. We're all doing this work together as wayshores. So let's start uplifting one another. And remember that we create the chain reactions. We stand up for what's right. We are the guardians of the galaxy. We don't let archaic energies keep slipping into our vibratory fields, because as soon as they do, they start nesting in your field, and guess what happens from there? They grow and they grow and they grow, and they call upon, they use a whistle, I found free rent, come on guys, and they call upon other frequencies. They draw them to themselves, right? So you have a little old energy, a third dimensional energy in your system. It goes, it blows its whistle, calls upon all its friends telepathically. All these other third dimensionals energies come into your field, and now you're compromised. And every single person who throws shade on anyone and who is unkind. Now, there's a difference between saying, I don't agree with Trump. There's a difference between that, right? And being nasty. Humans can be very, very hurtful, very nasty. They're merciless. Okay? Humans are merciless. We have to stop this. So it's okay to have a voice. It's okay to express how you feel about someone. But as soon as it spills over into nastiness, that is not okay. And there will always be repercussions karmically when you do that. Meaning that you might end up being in that same boat where someone sneaks into your phone, leaks a video, a sex tape, and now you're like, oh my God, I remember pointing a finger at Kim Kardashian. Now it's happening to me. That's how it works. All right, that's how the cookie crumbles. So we have to start working in cooperation with this guardian-like energy. Because the more of us step up to the plate and we hold hands and we create this circle that says, I disallow any energies that are detrimental into this field, then guess what's going to happen to the darkness? It's going to feel exposed, and it's not even going to dare to try to infringe anymore. It's not even going to dare to try to slide in under your door of your energy field anymore. It's not even going to dare. That's what we do. And you know, that's a huge service to humanity. When you could say, I know what you're doing. Because you're actually giving them an opportunity in that moment. Someone who's playing the victim. If they're playing the victim, you're like, you're playing the victim. I do that with my friends. You're playing the victim right now. And then it puts them in check. Because they've been getting away with it for too long. And 5D isn't recruiting no victims. 5D is recruiting victors. Okay? There are no victims in 5D. Remember that. So our job, our task, our mission, our internal mission during this intermission is to really, really start owning our truth. As above, so below. If you're being judgmental, you're still feeding and powering a dark energy within you. All right? And that's contributing to the dark side of life. To people who are nasty, to people who are bullies, to people who are manipulative. So find what it is in your system, locate everything that is running in your system in terms of software that's outdated now, and uninstall that software. And start being a guardian of the galaxy. Now, you don't want to be abrasive where like people feel like they're constantly stepping on their toes every time they're having a conversation with you. You want to be open. You want to be loving. It's an art form, okay? It's a skill that you have to master. You're loving, okay? You're not going to just put someone in their place without asking their permission. You speak lovingly. Hey, babe, I love you. You're so amazing. You know, I feel like when you play the victim, you kind of diminish your sparkle a little bit, and you're so much better than that. You have so much in store for you. There's ways to speak lovingly to people. You know, like if someone says to me, Trump is disgusting, you could say, hey, like, I don't think that's very kind. And you might be the only person in their entire year that's called them out on it. And you know what that's going to do? It's going to act as a catalyst for their awakening. Maybe not now. Maybe they're going to hate you for a week or a month or a year. But eventually, when they awaken, they'll go, oh my God. Phil was seeing through me the entire time. So I hope this message helps you. I love you. I love you, love you, love you. And you're doing such a wonderful job. And if you'd like to donate, please do. It's feelgoodlife.com/donate. If you can't, it's totally cool. So again, feelgoodlife.com/donate. I accept PayPal, Venmo, Cash, and credit card. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And I love you guys so much. I'll see you in another version of The Now.